Welcome to KBA Vendor Viewpoint, where we bring together Kentucky bankers and the industry's top vendor solutions to discuss important topics that affect your bank. This is Selena Parrish, KBA Director of Membership, Products and Services, and today we are featuring KBA-endorsed WORKS24. I'm pleased to have Frank Deprato, the Territory Manager with WORKS24 with us, and also KBA member Tim Barnes, President and CEO with Hometown Bank of Corbin. And thank you both so much for being with us today for the podcast. Frank, kick us off and tell the audience all about your role and how you work with all of our KBA members to bring WORKS24 to Kentucky.
Sure thing. Well, first of all, thank you, Selena, for doing this and all these wonderful tools that you've added to the KBA. It definitely goes a long way and helps us being your vendors. Everybody probably knows me by now. I'm not the quiet one in the room, as everybody knows. But I started with WORKS24 about 15 years ago as just a state salesman. I inherited Kentucky about 13 years ago. Since then, I've become a regional manager. I speak and teach. I taught at the KBA School of Banking a few times. I speak across the country about marketing and communication, and I have grown the territory. I now have a 7-state region, pretty much from Michigan all the way down to the panhandle of Florida. So we've gotten a little bit wider in lots of ways. Conventions will do that to you.
Yes, you are one busy territory manager. So thank you for taking care of all of our members. And Tim,
Yes,
how long
ma'am.
have you been using WORKS24?
Well, I go way back with Frank. It seems like when I first met Frank, he was carrying golf clubs around in the back of his car, giving them out. So that's way back. But we've been on hold music and messaging customers since I think 2010, and then we added the video services in 2018. It's been a great relationship.
We have definitely enjoyed it.
What is some of the biggest solutions that you're seeing banks use, Frank, from a marketing perspective?
Well, it's difficult nowadays to market to a population of people who know how to avoid you. Through the pandemic, I think we, in a world that's now dictated by social distancing, we as a population have kind of created a new pandemic, and that's social awkwardness. And your frontline staff used to be much better at cross-selling products and services and engaging the customer. And now we find that it's just a challenge for them to look up and make eye contact and breathe in the general direction the customer's standing in. And they're kind of failing at that. So the TV screens and any communication tools really just need to be utilized in a way to engage, break the ice, communicate, educate, cross-sell, appreciate the customer. And so that's where we try and step in and make it comfortable and easy to do.
That sounds great. And Tim, how often do you all change the messaging that you put there in the lobby for customers when they're coming in? Do you?
Yeah, I think it's exact amount of how often they do it. It's all the time there's different stuff that flows through the messaging. I mean, I think, we try to be very intentional about what goes on those screens. Everybody now has those screens in the lobby and you want to, as Frank said, you want to try to initiate something with somebody, and whether it's weather or, a score or something that's fraud related. Hey, don't give out your debit card PIN number. Anything that you put up there is a way to start a communication. And I think one of the big benefits to us is, I know Frank told me this a long time ago, we have a director that owns a radio station, and we always had his radio station playing. Yeah. Well, how often do you hear another bank's commercial on your radio or on your on hold? So that's a big piece of trying to do that.
Yes.
I think with marketing changing, Selena, the thing that there are 4 things that we find that make marketing still effective. Marketing was originally designed to cross-sell products and services. And so products and services have to be involved. You got to have a product and service on there. You got to have something to talk about to get your customers engaged with. Number two would be customer appreciation. Like Tim just said, there's a lot of banks out there, a lot of competition. And so we got to make the customers feel loved. The number one reason for a person to leave a bank is a feeling of indifference. My $50,000 a year and going to make or break this place, and there's a new bank in town and they're giving away a tote bag. There's just no loyalty anymore. It's so sad. The third thing is really entertainment value. We're typically competing with an iPhone. These people all have this mega computer in their hand that's got Facebook and TikTok and videos and games and all kinds of stuff. So our marketing has got to be engaging. It's got to look good. If it's not engaging and it's not entertaining, then it really doesn't matter what we're saying in our marketing. They're not looking anyway. And then the fourth thing we've really tried to make a push on over the last 2 years is we want to talk about purpose. We want to talk about, our heart, what we mean to the community, how long we've served the community. I still believe that the bank is the corner of the community, and I think we need to stand on that premise. And then we need to utilize that tool to say, hey, did you know we've been in the community for this many years? Or did you know we serve in this way? Or we're here to help you? And just kind of help people understand that the bank's not just the big bad guy that takes an overdraft fee if they had to. And so we want to definitely talk to them a little bit and close that relationship, fill in that relationship gap, I should say.
Like Frank said, I mean, WORKS24 allows you to, you can put your mission statement up there, your core values. It allows you to really put stuff out in front of the customer that they see that maybe they're not getting any other way,
Exactly.
except for what they see on when they're at the teller line.
Yes. Yeah.
Having a TV screen behind, TVs kind of went full circle. Everybody put TVs up to look cool and hip and modern, and they were showing Fox News or CNN News, and they were realizing they were upsetting some of their customers rather quickly with some political views and stuff like that. And so then they handed it off to the marketing department, and the marketing department's very busy. They got bigger fish to fry than changing content on your phone system or TV. And so what happens after time is that communication and that content gets stale. And so pretty soon you've got Christmas in February, and you got Mr. Barnes coming in going, why do we have Christmas on our TV in February? And the marketing department just doesn't have the time to fill it in. And so people are like, well, turn the TV off. And so they turn the TV off, and it sits off up by, I've got a bank in Kentucky, actually. They had their TV up there, and I walked in, it was just turned off. And I'm like, is it broken? And it's like, no, we just don't have anything good to put on it. Which was good timing on my part. So, they just end up turning the TV off, and then after a couple months, they don't want it to look like it's broken, so they take it down. And so with TVs going full circle like that, we just want to kind of get in there and make sense of it before we do something drastic like that and have to patch holes on a wall.
If you really want to know whether it's working or not, turn it off. The customer will ask for it to be turned back on. They enjoy seeing the information that's up there. And it's just, it's if you go somewhere in a room and there's a new plaque or something, you immediately read it. You may pass by it 10 times, but it's the same thing with WORKS24. I mean, you read what's up there.
And it's my understanding too that WORKS24 is turnkey. They're trying to make it as easy as possible for the banks.
Sure. I mean, just like you said, we're a $300 million bank, and we have basically a half a person. I don't know how you come up with a half a person, but we have a half a person in marketing. And so,
Sure.
I mean, they're really an arm of our marketing department, and they do a great job. Anything that you need, they're right there to help.
Yeah. I think the
We have
messaging, isn't that right, Frank? Your messaging support is
Yes, ma'am.
so helpful.
We work with the association, with the KBA, with all of our associations that we work with. They kind of steer the boat. They tell us what's needed by the bank, what's needed to be communicated. We make sure those libraries are full, and that there's plenty to pick from. And then that entertainment value that so many people think is just fluff, it's really important because it's what keeps their attention. People are not coming in your lobby to be sold or be taught. they're coming in your lobby to deposit a check and realizing, wow, there's a lot more month than there is check. And they're a little stressed about that and they don't know how to fix it. And that's when you're taking the opportunity to say, hey, did you know that's why we're here? This is what we do for a living. We're here to help you. A lot of people don't know how many products the bank offers, what those extra products are. And it's far easier for the bank to sell a second service to an existing customer than to go out the doors and find another customer.
I'm thinking about all these CD specials that are, keep that screen populated with the product that you're.
Yeah, I mean, you put anything up there you want. We try not to put rates on the screen.
Gotcha.
But that is a great way that, some people have different opinions of how to do that. We try to stick with as just the normal information and try to get someone's attention, about products and services.
Yes. And with all the fraud that's going on,
That's a big piece of, we try to always say, we're not going to ask you, this information. We're not going to ask this. We're not going to ask that. And it's all specific and we put it up there and hopefully somebody reads that. And, when the prankster calls and you say, okay, I saw that at the bank.
Yes.
It's so much, a lot of the
customer.
A lot of the education, the identity theft education and all that kind of stuff in the bank's really the only place your customers are getting that information. So they're learning what to look out for and what to avoid. And when something seems a little bit off on a phone call, they can recognize it a lot more quickly. I have banks up in my territory that, I'll go in and they're running HGTV and they're like, well, we're fine. We've got HGTV on there. And what they don't realize is the two largest advertisers on HGTV are Rocket Loans and LendingTree.com, which is kind of an oxymoron to be playing inside your bank lobby. And so there are definitely better things that you can be communicating, education, identity theft, and all that kind of stuff on top of the ability to talk about products and services.
Definitely. And from a perspective of where I know you have to embed your FDIC insured logo and everything. Is that part of what you have to do for the WORKS24 productions?
For the production,
does
sure.
that have to be a part of it?
It does. Compliance, as Tim will agree, is a very big part of everything now in our world, unfortunately.
Yes.
But compliance, all the compliance tags are built into both the audio for the on-hold music and messaging and the overhead music. We also do the TV screens. The overhead music is a tool that is just kind of the silence killer in the lobby. If Tim and I are talking my account information on one side of the lobby, we don't want someone to be able to listen to it on the other side. And so having some Christmas music or something playing definitely breaks that silence. But everything is compliant. All the compliance tags and everything are part of it and in the libraries.
Yes, and
a lot of that's changing now is with the new update for the FDIC signs, or the FDIC signs. I know that was just approved and came out. So, we rely on WORKS24 to keep us compliant in that, and they do a great job doing it.
Yes, that's where you take a lot of the burden off of the banks by doing it at WORKS.
We sure try.
Yeah,
we got enough things to worry about.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? So from a referral process, as far as banks that may be listening to our podcast today who have never tried WORKS24, where would you start? Would you start with the music in the lobby, or would you go ahead and jump right into the lobby screen so that you can have that available for customers?
Selena, we were actually an on-hold company. We were originally known as Bank on Hold for dozens of years prior to doing the TV screens. And I think the on-hold music and messaging, I know you don't want to put your customers on hold, but statistically they say 50 to 70% of bank customers are going to get a little hold time at one point or another. It's not an obtrusive amount of time. It might only be 20 seconds. And that doesn't seem like a long time unless you're the person actually on hold for that 20 seconds. And it seems like a lot longer. So the on hold is an inexpensive, easy way to get started. You get familiar with our platform, our customer service. That makes the video an easy second step. and a much easier way to get into it. And just allow WORKS24 to kind of help you with it. I think the biggest thing is you also need to have a game plan. So many people again put up TVs with no plan, what they wanted to do with them. And I think if you have a game plan and you know what you want to communicate to your customers, hopefully a mix of all those things I talked about, then once you have that tool in place, it's much easier just to follow that path.
Definitely. That's where I know so many times when I'm on the road visiting banks, if they don't have the video screen or the lobby screen yet, it's like they've all got a perfect spot in the lobby for it. It's just, oh, Frank needs to come and see you.
You probably
I
see
always
more
welcome
banks
those
than
phone calls.
anybody. You're in every lobby across the state, so you
That's
probably
right.
see that.
She has
And
been
I'm
a
sure you
major
can tell a
blessing.
difference in a lobby that has it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lobby with that TV monitor that's telling me all the great things that's going on at the bank, whether it's a customer appreciation event that's coming up, or maybe they're having a ribbon cutting or a grand opening at a new branch location. I think it's just a wonderful tool for keeping your customers informed when they come into the lobby.
Yeah, we've opened 2 new branches, and one, I guess, right during COVID and one right after COVID. So, but this is a great opportunity. WORKS24 in the new branches. I mean,
really
because you got those customers that are coming in for the first time know nothing about the bank, and you can put up a lot of information there, products and services and such, and while they're standing there being serviced, they've got to do something with their time, and they're going to read that and see those other products and services.
It's
We're a very,
definitely
very visual
your own
population.
commercial.
And
That's
yeah,
great.
I definitely think that during any kind of new branch or even a merger or anything like that, anytime a bank changes even a PIN color, the customers get a little uncomfortable. And so having the ability to say, hey, this is a positive thing. We're growing to better serve you. This is, just smile. This is not a bad thing. Don't be so doom and gloom about it. And just utilizing the screens to communicate, even positive things. Again, the fluff, the entertainment value is big, but it gives you the ability just to talk more about the bank and in your community. And I've got banks that utilize the screens to even encourage with the community and new commercial customers and all kinds of things. I tell a lot of my customers that it's like having a Ferrari in your driveway. It looks pretty and it's shiny, but unless you give that Ferrari a direction and a little bit of gas, it's not going to take you where you want to go.
I love it. That's great. Yep, that is perfect. So Frank, what is the best way for our audience to get in contact with you now that they know what they need for their lobby and their bank? Is there a perfect way for them all to reach out to you?
I'm kind of a constant figure at all the conventions at everything. So they're always welcome to come up and shake my hand. My direct email address is fdeprato, DEPRATO, at works, WORKS24.com. And my cell phone is 405-509-1363. You're always welcome to call directly to WORKS24. We're based in Edmond, Oklahoma. And this year we're actually launching a new website and everything. So a bunch of new changes are coming, and I think everybody's going to be really excited about it. Did I lose you by chance?
Later in the fourth quarter, is that when you're making all the upgrades?
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually, we're getting ready to go out to our national sales meeting, and they're going to be announcing and unrolling a lot of that. And in the fourth quarter is when everything should be launching.
Oh, that's exciting. Wonderful.
I'll tell you a couple things as you start working with WORKS24, you get to know Frank pretty well. Like I said, he's one of the quiet guys at the convention and such, but he's got an awful interesting hobby, making Christmas. I don't call those ornaments. What do you call them?
I do
Lawn.
outdoor Christmas decor. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got 4
So we
things.
always have a conversation way past what goes on at WORKS24. And it's a great hobby. So he's a talented individual.
Gosh, Frank,
If you
you
want a
need to
42
bring
foot
those to
wide
convention
activity
and put
set.
them on your booth.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I've got a
Well,
lot of
there is
Kentucky
also,
bankers that are using them, actually.
oh my gosh, how exciting. I don't think I knew that secret skill that you're doing for the Christmas holiday decorations. It's great.
Gotta love Christmas.
Do you have what he makes? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
You know, our library is a little bit small right now. We've got a nativity set. We have nutcrackers, both 5 and 10 foot tall, and then we have carolers, an old fashioned vintage family of carolers, and the library's kind of growing.
Oh, well, that is great. That's wonderful. And there's more information about WORKS24 on KBA's website. So go out to kybanks.com. And thank you both so much for your time today. It's been excellent information for our audience. And a huge shout out to Matt Simpson, our KBA Director of Marketing and Communications, for making today's podcast possible. But thanks for being on today's Vendor Viewpoint. And until next time, this podcast is a wrap. Have a great day, everyone.